WYLDE at this map. They always have been. And then for Gen.G, they love playing it, even though they do have a losing record on it this stage.
Let's set a record straight with Gen.G.
3 or 4, I don't expect Gen.G to win bank. I'm going to say it, you know, from a perspective of if Gen.G are going to have, very similar to I said last time, if Gen.G are going to win, it's still not going to be easy against Falcons. They've got such a broad map pool, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I think per use.
That's one thing. It's all good having the tools to do the job, Tim, but it's about coordinating as the team time and time again. Oh, leak it back. Not respecting what was going on through the soft wall there, of course. Don't always hear that getting bashed out when it's through another room.
Exactly where the power positions are for Falcons, and they're dealing with them brilliantly. There is going to be an opportunity for them to put this plant down sooner rather than later. Solotov does manage to pick up MACKO. It's still not one of those operators that is the tip of the spear, but that is a big one. Taking down the fuse shield, putting him on the ground, and that's the diffuser down cold as well. 3 versus 2 now, effectively.
They're a bit stuck here though, too, because no one's actually, I was going to say no one's in server to pick this up and try and get it down, but no, Deadshot's gone through Azox. I think had to kill him there to be able to get onto the default plant spot. Here, I think it's more about those Yokais and just wanted to not have any nasty surprises coming out from Falcons the later we get into these rounds. So, nice ideas. Also not a massive lean on towards flashes in this round, I was going to say, because we've got the Warden on side. However, maybe you got to worry about that Warden regardless, Tim, because it's Breeder and he's just found 2 kills. Shaiko a 3rd as well. This round might be over for it, even though the chance to get started. Yeah,
it's crumbled a little bit for Gen.G there. They wanted to get aggressive and get themselves into Janitor, but as you say, running into the Warden did not pan out for them. Breeder able to hold on nicely to that key area. We always see this top floor site really is determined by Janitor and whether the defenders can hold it or not. Hang on a minute though, Skies manages to find Leak. In fact, there's a lot of time left on the board. 2 versus 3, it's doable, but Deadshot is so low health. Uses peaks around and gets his kill, and then from there on, we'll see how nailed down it is as the round progresses. Just trying a little sneak through into Garage with the Nox. Guys continues that. Breeder takes down Azox, but look at this. Asta has managed to get in on the Blackbeard, but is a little bit stranded at the minute. Needs some support, and this is exactly it. The glass of Nico moving in, manages to take down Shaiko. 3 versus 2. Falcons standing up well, but again, Gen.G have answers. They have trades.
Solotov really needs to get that kill. There you go. He's got the down. It's a 1 versus 1. Solotov against Deadshot with 2 minutes still on the clock. I want to point out that shot's definitely give him away here. And no, Deadshot, where are you looking? Not towards the right spot, apparently. Falcons up to 2 and 1, but it could have been
situation though. Let's see his ability there, even at long range over obstacles, still finding his shots.
Nadely's seeing a bit of pressure in towards. But nothing else is actually going to keep the attackers at bay for a second, and I thought Leak, in fact, then surely had Skies dead to right, but that's another shot this game that we've seen Skies. One's come out, hasn't yet tossed out in the second. I thought he was worried for a second there, had been shot out, but no, he holds on. We've got a C4, and we've got a smoke to play behind here, as these Candelas now start raining on down. Another smoke coming on through, C4 still in back pocket. Plant is going on down. Usis has got to be the man here, but he's still inside the goal at this point, so he can't move because of the fire. C4's coming out, but it's a little bit too late, I'm afraid. We'll get half a C4 down on towards Azox, not enough to finish him off, and now it's panic stations for Falcons.
Yeah, with 5 left alive for Gen.G, there's no way that they should be losing this post plant. They need to get up above, hold on to it, which is exactly what they do. They know that the retake is going to come. We see users cut down. Solotov manages to find 1. Asses there hasn't been affected yet. We see some of that Capital utility going out, and droning will continue. Just ensuring that users isn't, Solotov in this case, actually isn't playing in that position, but doesn't really force him out too much as he manages to get a kill onto Deadshot. Here comes a push. Nico nearly missing his shots, but they have dealt with Janitor. It's a direct trade there. Breeder goes down. This is winnable for Gen.G.
Starting to cook at this point, but no, the Capital's gone. Solotov's found his man into a 2 versus 2. Looks for shots back, but found nothing, and like that, they started to crumble away. Ace has already gone nuts so far in this round. 7 and 2 across the game, but look at Solotov, 8 and 3 himself. Both looking pretty lethal, and Solotov wins out. It was a close to do with the shotgun on side. Sometimes it's not about executing towards the site. It's just about rapid entry into the building. Even has a shotgun in hand, and he's very rapidly into the building, Tim, but he's also very rapidly dead, as is Deadshot. 2 of them falling by the wayside is the slightly, and they'll very happily take your head off. Soundcue's going to give away some information at the same time. So far digging deep, but no, BREEDE finally caught in the cross. They've been hunting him down for a good 30 seconds or so, and finally they get their prize.
Yeah, 3 versus 4. I don't think it's going to be a big enough prize is the problem. There's 45 seconds left on the clock. They've used so much of that time and haven't got any control over site. You've already commented he's hit a few nice shots. He's going to hit another one and add it to the list. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Leakyfact did not see that coming. Plant is going down here, and Gen.G, they might just be able to rescue something out of this, but no, a kill comes in. Can they stick it? Yes, but the post plant is going to be tough.
They have no idea as well where the Scott has got to have used this, but he's floating around here now, locked into a bit of a gunfight. And Skies again, man. What is it with this guy and hitting bangers today? A triple kill in the round he finds himself. Gen.G look like they might recover what was a 3 versus 5 team and get us back to winning ways. Sure enough, they do.
Managed to get enough control to be able to put that diffuser down on the ground. Skies hit some brilliant shots throughout that round as well, it's fair to say.
Absolutely. Now, again, it's about how well they can now do on the defensive. A couple of smokes, lots to play with, but they've got to pull the trigger soon.
The big question here is Azox. I'm not sure they're aware of him. He's up on top floor, he's in stock, and he's just waiting for his moment to get onto that flank and to cause a nuisance of himself. He's going to have to go now. He's left his, and this is always the risk of trying to hide yourself away. He's left his team short-handed, and a couple of kills do come in for Falcons, but here he comes. Azox, big kill on main stairs. Acer manages to get one, and Falcons have taken their eye off the ball. It's 3v1 in the blink of an eye. Shaiko on the Deimos manages to find one. He's got a track on another. Surely he gets the kill here, but time is going to be the deciding factor. It's a trade as well. They're fully aware of this. They've seen it all on the black eye cam. They know what is going on, and it's an easy pickup. They knew that they just had to wait. MACKO opened his arms, and Leakyfact ran on into them.
That's happened a few times this game now, across both sides, of course, where Leakyfact has just been caught off completely unawares. And it's very unlike him. Obviously, as the IG element, he by default assume McKay IGL might not be the best gunner. No, Leakyfact was one of the best players across the last couple of years, but look at this side swap MACKO's found here. That's made life really uncomfortable for BREEDE. He can't plant until they've managed to get rid of MACKO. But again, Leakyfact, we've really got to see a bit more of him, unfortunately, Tim. 2 quick kills come on through. The last 2 players are coming from bottom square. One towards MACKO, and Ace has got to do it all against 3. One of them being trying to control the clash, right? Making use of the firebolts, for example. He's only got 1 left. Or using nades to force them away. Of course, probably thankful at this point that it doesn't do damage, but enough that it can still feed information across. It could be a bit of a threat. As I say that, a nade comes on through, and I think that was fire burning underneath, and it wasn't fire. Not it was, but he was slowly getting chipped down either way. Now he's down on his backside. 2 versus 3, and Ace gets the reverse. Oh my god! Him and Skies today have been absolutely magic. Leakyfact maybe awakening in this round, though. A 2 versus 1. Acer gets far. I thought he only got in there for a second, but no.
Gen.G go back to basement now. They get it 1. It goes 5-5. Falcons then win top floor.
Now, previously he held on to the 3rd and saved it for the sites itself. They only had the 1 C4 to play behind. Now there's 2. And they've got the Shanker. There's a lot they can work with. And MACKO's going to start things off. Shaiko on the Deimos, taken out. To burn at range and keep them at bay. It's the right sort of idea, but a bit of an unconventional spot being held here. Obviously, normally it's inside the site, you'd sit. Not good to lose another. Tries to go for the cross, and here we go yet again, Tim. There is a player upstairs wreaking absolute havoc, and what an angle. Deadshot nearly found it onto his man downstairs. Didn't manage to get the kill. That means on site for a second, though. It's a 2v1 with 10 seconds still to play. Uses finds 1. They need to be planting right now, but where is Deadshot gonna go? And is the cover there ready and waiting? Trying to find his way in. Cover nearby. Not quite just yet. In fact, yes it is, just across the far side, but no! Diffuser is down, shield is up, finds 1 for himself, and has got to win the 1 versus 1. Uses got basically no HP to his name. It's the right idea, but no! Uses wins out yet again. Task that needs to be done by someone. May as well be Gen.G here in round 11. Easy kill. Oh. Hey? What? Never mind. I did think for a second I was like, hang on, he's definitely shot the head. And then Ace steps forward and drops the shield, and now he's dead. And he's been such a big player for them throughout this game that suddenly he starts to feel a bit concerned. But the Dockerby is gone, Tim. Equally a massive catch. That second call rings out.
With Falcons, who are all full health at the minute and really posturing here to get aggressive towards site. Deadshot taking damage as well.
just probing and asking questions, aren't they? Trying to figure out where these last couple of players are. Pressure coming on through now that he's dropped away. They can hit sight and largely ignore him. One more in front of his face as well. The bulletproof at least getting a little bit of help on that side, but he gets one more. Sky's in towards one. He's been going pretty big himself this game, but is it enough to hold on? I fear not. Azox with it all to do another 1 versus 1, and it's against Shaiko, who's got a track, calls it out, but Shaiko has to plant. He hits him. He might just get baited out in time. This could be a pretty miserable outcome. Azox pushing his way back up towards Beepers. Here we go. The step through comes on through.
On the side of Falcons, determine the 7-4 here.
Yeah, let's just contextualize this because we've started talking about the highlights about how happy we are and how proud we are of Gen.G. On another day, without those clutches, they're actually in overtime maybe winning this map, which is supposed to be the best map by far for Team Falcons. And they needed big clutch, big individual plays. It was uncharacteristic, I would say. They lost 5 versus 3 with no walls open on the open area defense.
Should to take if you're Gen.G, because you kind of feel like every time a mistake happens and you don't punish it, tough one for Gen.G to take. And if we look at Constellate, Falcons played it against Fnatic recently, won it comfortably, so they know what's going on. And here they go.
Well, let's see if they get away with this. Matt getting the kills most importantly, and sure enough, there's the first one. Solotov isolated. Shaiko getting one back. Brito with the same on the spray through the flash from through the shallow wall, and Usus gets 1-2. This looks like it's over before it has even begun. Even Leaky Pat's got one for himself to see out his troubles, and Shaiko with the close. It was a nice attempt. It was a good from Gen.G. No C4s, no impacts, no smokes, nothing to stop this Monty just marching on forward. And that is my main worry, because now he's in a spot to get the plant down. They've got a challenge, and sure enough, they challenge in reverse. It's a trade between the two. Azox also going down to 4 versus 3, and they're up on top of the Monty. Hello? What the hell is going on? They had no idea about the push up towards the Monty there, and yet again, Gen.G have done something pretty good. They've pulled out a good plan, but the actual execution of it, especially towards the end of the round, is where they've fallen short. Surely MACKO doesn't hold on against all 4 here. Now they know where he is, and he can't even get a single kill. That is unfortunate. Falcon's gonna go 2-0 up. Take out that Monty in 1, as we'll see 1 come through. Takes off half his HP, in case you're wondering how much damage they do. Well, that's the answer. Behind the shield, it would have been a very different story. Usus going down, leaking back onto a trade, and MACKO springs into action. Almost gets a second on the top spiral, but for now, it's Solotov trying to go aggressive. 2 players lined up, but could find neither. And surely Gen.G get themselves on the board in this round, as they're into a 4 versus 2.
Yeah, it was a great play from MACKO, just explosive to get forward and just start something going for his team. They've got more value out of that shield this time as well. Azox able to bully Brede, get that final kill. It's all up to Shaiko 1 versus 3, but look at Azox and Asa, both pretty low health here. We've already seen him do it 1v1 in unlikely circumstances. Can he do it again?
He can't do it. Oh, of course he can, though. It's Shaiko. The shield is the worry for him here, but it doesn't have to do an awful lot on this one. And of course, Goo Mines are always going to help. And of course, Tim, he forced us down to a 1 versus 1. Shield is down, just waiting for that pistol to appear. Steps away, hoping to bait out the Monty, but Azox simply is not biting. Last 30 seconds, and it's this dance with death here. Who comes out on top? Azox or Shaiko? But now, it's Shaiko that has got the pressure. Diffuser not being down only helps him here. And he's waiting for the shield to be dropped fully and the pistol to come out. But the thing is, Tim, we just know that he doesn't miss in these situations. Has a spray through the soft wall. I say a spray, it's a single shot. Finds a bit of damage, and Shaiko gives him absolutely nothing.
Reduces the power of the Monty. I wouldn't say necessarily the same for Blackbeard and Blitz, because they're a little bit more self-sufficient, especially the Blackbeard. But
look at that instantly. A challenge from Solotov, but that fire is going to give away his position. MACKO knows he's being pushed, but Solotov just don't miss those. 5 of the best players in the world, Tim. Always going to be a hard ask.
I feel like Falcons were... oh, this is not good. You're going into a problem. So,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Asa just having to run as soon as his feet touch the ground. The kills come in. Brede finds him, and Skies is now in a 1v4. He had a great game on Bank. Finds a 1v3, but push from both is going in there on the Monty. Falcons are aware of that. Brede, I think, will be calling for help at that point. League Fight does manage to get Azox. Gen.G, you've got to be feeling for them at this point. He is downed in the process, but gets the headshot. It's 5 versus 3 now.
Oh, like, it just doesn't matter, does it? Like, no matter how much you try, You're not the ones coming out on top in these gunfights. Falcons move up once again to the slower place the game is playing at. They get to command the tempo a little bit further, get to take engagements where they want, rather than having Gen.G choose when they want to come away with them. I'll tell you that, Solotov gets a little bit too mobile and pays the price. Ace are getting out on the entry.
Really good work there as well, forcing them back, forcing them to drop the hatch, getting that control over yellow. That's what you want your Monty to do. You want them to go in and push defenders around. Shaiko does manage to take down MACKO. 4 versus 4, 20 seconds left to go. There's it's now or never.
Gotta try and hold, boys. Not really enough time which to work with here. They've got to get kills, and getting rid of Shaiko certainly not a bad one given how it's been playing so far. That now going down, but they start rounding their way through. Users getting one, but there's a second player. Good on the trades, but Bride up close. Gets a second and legs it. Run, Bride, run! Because Deadshot's got to chase him down. Will not find him in time, and he wins the round for his team.
Like everything stacks up against Gen.G. Deadshot drops in and gets goo mined, so he can't eat one single attack.
Man. Getting themselves started up onto this cubby wall already.
Swapping
Beautiful little laser pattern being drawn out for us. Tim, I'm sure you'll be delighted that it's not a laser gate you have to talk about this time round. And a wonderful play. There we go. Leaguefat's got that in from below.
Tested at that. That was...
I'm sure they'll still tell you, mate, they're still an absolute mess.
Yeah, they really are. Natural good. Impact it goes out. Not going to catch. Yeah, he needs to be keeping hold of those. I mean... until he knows where the push is coming from. As soon as he knows where that is going to be, we get a direct trade there. The Damas is going to be taken out. Until he knows where Bride is going to be putting that down. But he should have a good idea of meeting door by now. So he's keeping an eye on Azox for that first smoke canister going out. He's kept him in pocket. They've been wasted as Solotov gets a really important kill. 3 versus 2 here. Solotov on another. And surely it's all over for Gen.G. It's going to be a 7-0. It's a triple kill for Solotov to close it out.
Just one more example, right? There's the skill with the Zofia impacts. There's the clutches, yes, of course. But in general, what were we saying before this? We were saying we need them to go back to the fundamentals, starting in defense on control. That will help that because they don't need to be proactive, they need to be reactive. We look at this, utter domination. Not a single player on the side of Gen.G is in positive. Shaiko is on double digits again, 10 and 3.
Yep.
177 ABS.
Yeah, that's insane. And that has to do with like consistent kills across all 7 rounds plus a clutch, a 1v3 clutch.
Kind of expected. They are still head and shoulders better than the team that they were facing in terms of Gen.G and obviously MACKO for VP. As we see the scoreboard here, one player that I do actually want to point out, and he's not on the winning team, and this is just before we get on to Falcons, is Asa. I think he's had a pretty difficult stage. He's been pretty much consistently the lowest rated player on Gen.G. Today, he was actually better. He was very instrumental in banker on the Ying, holding down the flanks on the main stairs, particularly for the basement attacks. He had a great series in both of the maps, actually, even though he did get 7-0'd in the second map. So.
On the side of Falcons here, but with that 7-0 and the closure of the series, we get to speak to them as we should be joined by users on the interview here to ask him a few questions. Users, congratulations on the series win there. It was a very fast second map. Did you expect it to be that dominant today, though?
Not really. I think it's a bit of a classic where like your own map pick is sometimes harder than like what the other team picks. Happens quite a lot of the time for us and probably a lot of other teams as well.
I think your bank has looked a little bit harder across the few last plays. What do you guys miss against G2 to take that map? Because they broke a really long win streak for you guys on that map.
I think the G2 game, we didn't adapt very well in the game, which is why we lost. I think we made a lot better of adaptations against Gen.G, so we came away with the 7-4.
How do you think the team play's been, users? Because I suppose for us on the desk, we see these big individual moments, right? And of course, every player on your roster can have them. Do you think that the team play has been something that's been maybe a little bit lacking this stage?
I could maybe agree. Like before, I think that Gen.G game, it was good. Like the Bride 1v3, for example. Yeah. I think he only gets that 1v3 because of the team play. Like we all pushed together at the same time, so there was a gap for him to push and kill the Monty, and then that like opened up that. I think the Shaiko one was individual skill, obviously, but I think our team play was a lot better in this game than it was in the regular stage. I agree.
Is that something that you've been specifically, I suppose, working on ahead of this game then?
Not really. I think it's just best of 3 in playoffs gets us a bit more like hyped and wanting to win, and you can like you have the first map to wake up a bit. We usually start slow on the first map always. So.
Fair enough.
Obviously, tomorrow you've got a really important game on the line. It's about the SI points, about prize money, it's about the invite to EWC. You're playing against a team that you've played against a lot in the last few years. You're playing against Secret, a team that always somehow manages to find to play against you, but during the group stage it was a 7-2. So that was rather easy for you guys. How are you feeling about the match you've got coming up tomorrow?
I'm excited. We do play Secret a lot. I feel like them and VP, I feel like we play them all the time. So maybe if we beat Secret, it'll be VP again. I feel like we just play those guys so much. So yeah, I'm excited.
I think Usus, whenever you play these guys, I think if I look at the match history, I don't know why, but in my head, you guys always demolish them. Almost always. There were some examples of that. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you guys almost always beat them?
I have no idea. I don't know, actually. I have no idea. I can't answer that.
You're just better. That's it.
Maybe.
I guess we're going to find out tomorrow if that's the case and why you continuously beat them. Usus, thank you so much for your time and good luck with the important match tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.